Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the God the Artist podcast. I'm your host, Morgan McCarver, and today I'm here with Aisha Makara. I hope I said that correctly.
Yes,
Yep.
you did. Yes.
Great. Hi, Aisha. Thank you so much for coming on.
I'm very happy to be here, and it's my pleasure.
Good. Well, first off, who are you and how do you like to be creative?
I'm Aisha Makara, artist, entrepreneur, and writer. I just published my book, Joyful Living Guidebook, and one of the artists who sent my art to the space was a SpaceX. So it's engraved in golden plates and flying somewhere in the space
Wow.
now. And I actually live my dream. I believe that we're here to live our dreams and achieve absolutely anything we want. The most important is just be joyful. And
Yeah, I love that. So tell me a little bit more about you have your art sent off into outer space with SpaceX. What kind of art do you do? How was that sent off?
well, I started to do my art many years ago as a therapy just because I went through some, like breakdown and I get to work through that breakdown. And I decided like art has always been my therapy when I have a little bit, like sadness or
Mm,
emotional breakdown. I call it like this. And this time I took it to the next level and I started to create more and more. And at that time I was living in Lisbon, and my friends was very happy to see me creating so much art, and I was selling it very easy that time. And I was like, why not to be an artist, full-time artist? And of course, because I'm a
wow.
I decided to take it myself to Miami. And I, in that moment of my life, I was thinking like, I'll be in Art Basel, Miami. And because I've been in Art Basel several times before, and that's why I was like, why not to do it in Miami and be an artist in Miami? So I moved to Miami and I started to create. And COVID hit, these things went crazy. I started to work with kids, and that moment of my life, by working with kids and the exploring with them the creative side of the reality and be present in the moment
Mm,
and actually just be, I realize that I'm always creative. I'm always like have all these ideas and I just go for it. And that moment of my life, I create some dreams, what it is to be accomplished artist, because I was interviewing hundreds of the artists. I had like this podcast, or like I didn't call it podcast. I just interview my friends and friends of friends to understand the question, what it is to be accomplished artist. And many of them like, oh, it's making money, it's being successful, it's being this and that, and I went to the next level. For me, it was like I want to be the first artist who sent my art to the space. I want to be the first artist who went to the space, and I want to be the artist who's painting a rocket with my art. And that's why in the end of the 2020, I sent my art to my artworks to Elon Musk, to Jeff Bezos, and to Richard Branson, and I asked Elon Musk to send my art to the space because he was sending his car to the space, and I was like, why not to send the art to the space? And then 2022, it was a project that was connected to Pioneer 10. And they selected two of my artworks because I applied for that project since it was connected to my dream. And somehow that satellite that been, all this art was collected in that satellite was sent by Falcon 9, the transformer, to the space. And that's kind of like my dream, one of my dreams accomplished. And I'm feeling like I'm living my dreams. And at that moment of my life, I really understood that I do live my dreams. And whatever I imagine or whatever I want to create in this world, I do it. Just really truly believe in that, and believe that it's possible and nothing is can stop me to do that, because when I have the attitude and I'm grateful for life and I'm joyful, that's what matters. Continue to bring the joy to the world.
Wow, that is such an accomplishment to send your art into space. And yeah, to have the confidence too. I commend you on that, to just go for it, like literally shooting for the stars, so to speak.
Exactly.
Um, that is so impressive. Do you draw or paint? What were the artworks that went to space?
So it was connected to this idea of what we know about humanity so far from perspective of the artist. So my art is, connection of what we know about humanity to send it to the aliens or whatever is there in the space. So that was the kind of like a theme of the project. And that created, from my perspective, I did a drawing of my perspective is kind of a little bit geometrical and at the same time it's creative. And then that I if you go, it's on my website, you can see the art as well. It's like I have a picture on my website about my artworks that been sent to the space. The whole point of creative side of the reality to send the art to the space and actually like being the first artist in the world to do that, or one of the first artists who did it. I feel as an artist it's something maybe not so many people realize how powerful it is actually to do that and have that dream. Because I remember when this project was created and I received the message on Instagram, or like one of my friends, because I was sharing with all my friends that I want to send my art to the space. And one of them, she sent me the link and she said like, oh, this is the project, you get to apply. And I remember when I did it, I sent to all my artist friends. Nobody applied. And that's the
Wow.
thing. And after they were asking me, Aisha, how did you do that? And I'm like, because it was probably connected to my dream. I get to do that. Even so, it was not easy in that moment of my life. But I just like, I get to do that. I get to be the one who is doing it. Even so, I share it with 100 other people. And that's the always, the probability when I moved from Russia to Norway, for example. My friend was all the time telling me, oh, you know how many students applying to go to study in Europe? It's thousands of students. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be one of this thousand. If, I will get in, I will get in. If not, then not. I get to do that. And I got in. But the thing is like, this is what I realized. Many people want to do things and they don't even take the first step to read or understand if it's something is possible or there's something they really want to do. Because it's good to have ideas and it's also great to create action towards that ideas and understand how you feel about that. Are you ready to get out of your comfort zone and actually make that move and create that new reality for yourself? Because when I moved from very little village to the bigger city, and after I moved to the Moscow, and after I moved to Norway, because my idea at that moment of my life was traveling around the world. And when I travel around the world, I realize that nothing is impossible. Absolutely anything is possible. Whatever you imagine, you got to be just open and trust the unknown, because something is there, is always supporting you, and it's always there for you and want you to live the best life, the best dream, whatever you create for yourself. And I believe like we get to do it for ourselves. We get to create that first step. We get to make that first, action towards making it real. Nobody else will do it.
Hmm.
It's we in charge of it, of that life we want to create.
Yeah, I think that's huge, just taking that first step. Like you said, your friend connected you, but if you hadn't applied, you wouldn't have gotten to do it. It's all about making that move on your own. That is really big. Um, do you feel like your religion, does God play a part in your art? Or, yeah, what does that look like?
I believe like we artists, we um kind of like a shamans. I don't know. We kind of like this living in our own, living our own path. We're creating our own reality, and we're powerful creators. Some of us probably understand that. Some of us not. I don't know. But the point is, I understand I'm a powerful creator because I can create any reality I want. I get to just be very clear and intentional and understand why I'm creating that reality for myself, why I want that, and how much I'm willing to commit of myself towards that thing that I want to create for myself. Because the thing is, everything is about consistency and commitment. Because when I create joy and I want to be joy, I get to understand the idea of joy. And that's why, like, I get to be in that state of joy consistently. And it's a lot of practice. And as an artist, I have these up and downs. Really, sometimes it's very, very strong. It's very strong up and then very strong down. And I noticed many artists have that. They go like through the very happy time and after a very sad time, and I started to question myself how I can stay in a state of joy, not even happiness, joy. Because happy, it's like you're happy today, you're sad tomorrow. It's all about the balance. But how you can stay joyful, even when you're not feeling, you know, joyful, but you still can add joy. You can filter absolutely everything through the joy. And it's, from my perspective, that's the idea, understanding that you live in divine life. That's the idea, or the feeling that God is always with you, and or source. Because everyone believing whatever they were believing in, the thing is, I believe that my angels and God is always with me. They're always supporting my journey. They always want me to live the best I can. I get allowed myself to do that. I get allowed myself to be that, because they're always supporting me no matter what. They always love me no matter what. They always forgive me no matter what. I get to do the work and continue to walk the walk towards my dreams and towards the life I'm here to live. And I
Mm,
always have support, the God support, because
yeah.
not we're dreamers and we're doers in the same time. That I'm feeling like the artist life is being a dreamer and being the doer in the same time.
Yeah, that's huge. I agree. Um, just having that support, like you were saying, I think that's where I can find joy is like you were saying, even if you make mistakes or even if it's not your best day, even if you're down, you still have God, God's got your back.
Always.
What is your book about? You mentioned that you wrote a book. Is that in your book or is it more about
Well, it's in
space?
my second book actually. I'm right now.
Wow.
Second one is called like Dream Life on the Flow, and the first one is Joyful Living Guidebook. After I accomplished my this dream of sending my art to the space, I understood that all my dreams is real. So I live joyful, like my life is joy, like joyful bubble. So every time when I'm on my own, I'm always joyful. I'm always happy. I'm always grateful. I'm really enjoying life and really present in the moment. And people questioning things, they're never happy. They always want more. Every time something is missing. And me being with people, because I'm very high empath, I feel what other people feel. Because I didn't have a boundaries, or like I was not clear with my boundaries. I feel what other people feel. So for me, it took me a while to realize what I feel, because I remember
Mm,
when I was a kid, I've always been happy. I've always been joyful. I've always been present in the moment. I've always been the supporting and giving and happy. And the thing is, when I getting older or like growing up, I realizing that many people are not happy with their life. They're not happy who they are. They're not happy why they're doing what they're doing. Because when I worked as an engineer many years ago in Norway, and I was thinking, um, working as engineer was as a serving to the community and serving to the government, and making money and being someone who is creating some kind of value in the community. The thing is, I was not happy. And even so, I accomplished that moment of my life. I went to all the cities I want to go, and I did all the things I want, like I want to do, like traveling around the world, all the places I want to go, and I consistently travel. I can organize my time, my vacations, and Norway is the amazing place to be. And what happened is like I started to question myself, why I'm not happy, what's happening. I'm creating the impact in the community. I'm doing the things that matters for the community. And it's not something my heart want, or my heart is um, want to leave. So I started to think about that. And after I started to create ideas, what I want, what my heart wants, what my soul wants. And I went on that exploration of the understanding what matters for me. I went on I call it like a solo journey to realize what it is to be an artist, actually. And I actually learned that I've been an artist from the beginning. I was just realizing it, because some of us has a talent and many different areas. And I realized I talents in all areas. It's just like, for me, it's all about focus. When I'm putting the energy and focus in in one area, it's naturally you become very successful, because you have successful mindset, and you have confident, and you have curiosity, you have this wonder. Because for me, I look at everything as a wonder, as a curiosity. It's something is there. People putting so much fears because they always thinking about the future. Future is like not real. Past is not real. What real is now, what we're creating now, when who we are now. Because in reality, nothing is exist. Is what does exist is now, what we're creating with our words, with our intentions, with our actions now. And when people started to realizing it, that maybe you never been 60, you even don't know, but you're still thinking about your retirement. Why do you think about your retirement when you're just 20? I don't know, 25, 30. Like, you never know. And people like saving for what? That maybe never will use it. Maybe never will have opportunity to actually enjoy to travel around the world, because they're thinking, oh, when I'm going to retire, I'm going to enjoy and travel. I don't know if I'm going to be retired one day, but the thing is like, I get to go and explore now because I have energy to do it now. Yes, maybe it's not going to be in a five-star hotel. Maybe it's not going to be, but we have so many opportunities with couch surfing, with hospitality club, with so many platforms right now. We're living in a world of technology. It's magical time for us to explore, where we really feel like we're powerful creators. We're like a gods. And like, really, we can create absolutely anything we want. Me, but being here in Lisbon, and you being there in United, like, have all this connection. And the thing is, people don't see the power, how much we can create now, how powerful we are now, how much we can do and collaborate and make the world better. And I feel the thing is, with my joyful living book, I'm just giving different examples of how we can stay joyful, how we can understand that what we have now, it's already enough. By being healthy, it's already enough. By by having the energy to help someone next to you with whatever you can in the moment, if you can give them the place, if you can give them the food, or whatever the opportunities, it's it's magical. Why not? Because the thing is, people don't think what they have. They're always thinking like, they're missing something. They want more and more. In reality, I feel we have enough. We are enough. And the thing is, people don't even feel enough many times. They feel they're not worthy. And I feel like by being here in the planet Earth, we're already winners. By coming here to the planet Earth, we're already winners. By living a life as a human, it's already to win, and we are here to win. We're winners. In my mind, we're all winners. And our work here is just dream and walk that dream. Be that. And really decide for yourself that, yes, I'm doing it. And don't question, don't doubt yourself. Just do it. Because you have just this body, and you even don't know how long you're going to be here in this planet, but it's this planet that's so beautiful. It's just so much magic that you cannot even imagine is there for you. And being in one place, living in one city, you never will discover it. By being scared and thinking, I don't have money, thinking what you don't have, instead to focus what you have. Now you have yourself.
That's, yeah, I completely
Always feel
agree.
good. Always feel good.
Yes, yes. I can tell, yeah, when you think that you're not enough, then that lens kind of transfers into everything, that you don't have enough, you aren't enough, and that completely clouds your outlook on life.
Mhm.
But you've lived all over the world. What's been your favorite place to experience the beauty of Earth?
Well, I feel like for me it was, of course, many places. I love Europe very much. Europe has so much history and architecture. It's amazing. Italy is one of my favorite places in the world. Uh,
Hmm.
I also like Florida. Florida is very beautiful, and it's so much to explore there as well. It's like a zoo for me, a tropical zoo, so much. And but it's every place, it's magical. It's in its own, because it's just so different. So I cannot say that, oh, this is my favorite place in the world. I say like many places has something unique and something beautiful, because in the end of the day we choose to be, because that's where we feel more connected, or we're feeling more belonging, or we're feeling something is there for us. For me, being in Florida and living in Florida, I discover my hippie side of me, very, very like hippie, because I realizing living in the tropical weather, being free, living in the van and selling my art from the van, being in the festival scene all the time, you living in a completely different world. It's also world. It's also like, people there also living that, and you're not connecting with a city. You're not connecting. You're coming with a city just selling mangoes, or avocado, papayas, whatever, just like making this cash to go with your friends in the restaurant, just spending this 20, $30, whatever, $50, because you just sold something, or you're selling your art. But in reality, living in a van and going to the national parks, staying in a different by the ocean, seeing sunset, seeing sunrise, I'm feeling like you're already feeling so rich. You don't need so much. Going and swim in the ocean every day in the morning. It's like, it's magic for me. It was that moment that was so magical. I just wake up, I was dancing, I was singing, I was playing my sound ball, like sound healing balls, that time, or crystal balls. But it was just different life. And living in a city right now in Lisbon, it's completely different life. It's also life. It's just different. It's also magic in this life too, because creating art, having friends, going to the parties, like living life, traveling. It's just like every life that we're living here is have their own spice in it, some kind of like this uniqueness. At the same time, it's temporary. Everything is temporary. If I decided to live all my life as a hippie, would I be happy? Yes, probably. I don't know. But the thing is, we have the different state, and it's up to us to decide what we prefer, what we choose. to live. In reality, we have choice, and the same time we don't have choice. Some of us thinking we have a choice, and some of us think we don't have a choice. So it's all perspective, right?
Perspective, yep. And different places you live give you different perspective for sure and make you a different person along the way. What would you say is the hardest part about being an artist today?
I think nowadays, it's just so many opportunities there that it's not easy to choose, because all these opportunities it's leading you somewhere. And many artists, I feel, struggle to choose and commit to one of the direction. And that's why, you know, the struggle is coming, because nowadays our generation is have issues with commitment, and that's why not so many artists is growing long term, and they say, oh, it's so hard to be an artist, it's so hard of this. And I used to say to the people, it's a decision you made. You get to go through the struggle and enjoy the struggle. Joy of struggle, it's also life. Yes, it's not easy to stay sometimes in the couches and, like not having money and not having food, whatever, but it's a choice that you make. It's a commitment that you're making towards something bigger than yourself, than your body in this case, right? Like Buddha, when Buddha decided to go in the journey, and sometimes he was fasting for days and days and days by going for deeper and deeper, deeper exploration of their body. So, like artists get to go into that exploration like a Buddha did. So for me, somehow, some real artist in this lifetime is like a Buddhist. They created that Buddha, like they living that Buddha in them, and they're really committed to the journey of being a human, and they're like in that deep understanding of being human by being an artist. Because in reality, when you look around, everything what we have, it's been created by creative people, by artists, like computers or laptops, phones, everything been created by artists. It was an idea first, and after someone get to, bring that idea to the reality, think about that, drawing it, created it, find the solutions, and work to create the world we have right now. So when you look at the world, we're all artists. Maybe we don't realize it because it become more conditioned and like a systems. In reality, when we decided to get out of the system, we become more creative, because we're not anymore in this box. We can create our own box and be in that bubble. I call it like a bubble. The thing is, we can be so creative and so powerful in our creation. So we started to create that box, and after we started to create that box for others. And the thing is one big box. It's like a, ego is good, because, if you go look at the Beyonce or Jay-Z or many like famous artists, they have a big, huge ego. Why? Because that ego is fitting many other people. They have the vision. They're bringing themselves to that level, and that level fitting many other people. So that's, you get to also realizing everything have a connection, or everything makes sense when you're going an exploration, like deciding yourself or seeing yourself as a creator. Because being creator, you taking responsibility by committing to that vision and working through all the processes to level you up, by being consistent, by being responsible, by being like authentic. That's why,
Mm,
you know you're creating that reality. That's why we are creating that reality for ourselves first, and after the other people, would want to see the vision that you have or don't, because we in charge of that vision when we have the vision, and we are responsible to carry that vision to the end. When you look at the Mandela, for example, or Muhammad Gandhi, when they created their idea, they committed to that. They really did. They committed their life towards that. So, so ego have a different perspective again, right? To in reality, the way you working with that. So artists they're very self-centered and maybe in some way like selfish, but I call it more self-centered because they're creators. They see reality in completely different way than many other people. And I believe each of us have that opportunity to look at life as a creator.
Mm, I love that. I completely agree that we're all creative, we're all creators. And exactly that perspective and that bubble, putting your priorities in your bubble, but yeah, don't force your bubble onto someone else. And that's when we get into that situation, when someone else's bubble is our priority, that's when we get stuck. Yeah.
Well, when it's connected to your idea, to your vision, for example, the other bubble, so it's going to be way more meaningful and more beautiful
Mm,
when two minds connected, or three or four or five. It's become more and more mindful and more beautiful for the world. It's creating that amazing impact that matters, that creating other lives and not making the other life better. And again, perspective even of the being better or doing better, if you look at the humanity from the historical point, like when we started to create industrial like the industrial revolution, and now we have a technology revolution. So it's always mind is always expanding, it's like always like going to the next level and next level and next level. So we don't know how many levels is there. The things is it's always growing, it's always like making better from the perspective of that. That's why, like, we are not anymore 2 billions of people, or we already like 10 billions of people. But the thing is like, because we are growing, we need to do something, and that's why we always bringing solution what we can do. With all the
mm,
technology that we have, with Uber, with all this Airbnb, I don't know, so many platforms that we're using right now. It has a meaning because all of us need to do something, and that part is what we're here to be or to do. It's like continue evolve, continue to grow, continue be humans. And I don't know what's going to happen next, but technology, the way the technology is developing, it's also can go in so many different directions. It's again, it depends of human mind. It depends also what better world they want to create from different perspective of better.
right. There are so many different perspectives of better, especially in technology, but it's a huge benefit to be able to, like, exactly right. I'm in the United States, you're in Lisbon. We don't know each other. It's amazing to be able to connect with other artists around the world in such a personal way that other generations never would have gotten to do. That's huge.
Exactly. But the thing is also like we get to enjoy what we have now with all the opportunities that we have now. We don't know what's going to happen in 5 years, 10. We don't even know what's going to happen in 1 year. But the thing is like the prediction that people had 50 years ago, after the Second World War, to rebuild all these countries, and now our generation, the millenniums, who's actually creators and really haven't had experience of the war. And the thing is like we understand that it was something not cool, and in the same time we haven't experienced that. we grew up in a peaceful way, and the thing is like we we have opportunity to travel around the world. We have opportunity to do absolutely anything we want, and we can when we still cannot understand how far we can go with this technology, with this development of technology, with AI, and it's so many levels of growth. It's there, and I don't know. I'm just feeling like 15 years from now, I don't know where we're going to be.
Yeah. Who knows what's to come?
What
This has been this has been such an enlightening conversation. But before we go, I know we're coming down to the end of time, but what would you hope that the listeners would take away from our conversation today? What is something that you want to leave them with, or your legacy? What's your last word to our viewers?
I would love that everyone live their dream, believing in themselves, and make a strong statement and decision. Really like decide and go for it, because nobody will live your dream. You get to do it just for yourself. So live your dreams and be with.
That's great. Thanks, Aisha.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it, Morgan.
Bye.
I love the name of your podcast, actually. It's very cool.